Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, hello again. So this is my channel. I love to do DIYs on a budget, Dollar Tree DIYs, thrift flips, farmhouse and rustic, seasonal decor, and wreaths. So if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button. Also leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys think. And also give me a thumbs up. That helps my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and Facebook. Those links are below in the description box. And I would love for you to come follow me on YouTube and Facebook live. I do crafting and chatting with you guys every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So just come on my channel and come check it out. But today is all about Hello Spring, and our hosts are Rustic and Willow in DIY from House to Home, and the guest host is Creations by Favi. More about that in a minute, but first, DIY number one. So the first DIY, I am going to take this little piece of wood that you see there, a tag, some fabric strips that I ripped into strips, a button, some greenery, also some twine. I'm going to use burnt umber and also some white chalk paint, some guave, and I believe the yellow is Sun? I can't remember. It's by Waverly though. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my burnt umber and I'm going to use a sponge. I use the sponges from the Dollar Tree to paint and it's awesome. Next, I'm going to take this little block of wood that I got at the Dollar Tree and I'm dipping it in the agave paint from Waverly. It's chalk paint, and I'm just tipping the edge of it in there, and then I'm just kind of like smearing it on the bunny. Now, this is a weird technique. I've watched quite a few videos of people doing this, and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to try it out. So here I am trying it out for you guys. And then I'm going to take the yellow chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to go in with that next. Now, I make sure each coat is dry before I go in with the next. And I'm doing the same exact thing. And I'm trying just to go in different spots on top, leaving some of the blue to show. And then once that's dry, I'm going to take a sponge, and I'm going to dab the plaster chalk paint on the top. And I'm just going to dab it. If I miss a few spots and you see the yellow or the agave, that's fine, because I'm going to go in here and scrape it in a minute. So once I get that all dabbed on, and I'm trying to show you each step so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm going to come in with my sander and I'm going to sand really hard. I'm using the best grit sandpaper that I have on my little finger sander. And I'm just going in and I'm sanding really hard in certain areas because I want that a little bit of that yellow to come through, and also the agave color to come through, that blue and some of the brown as well on the edges. And that's what I do all over the whole bunny. And I just go in the areas where I want to go. Then I'm going to take some surface wax and I'm going to go around the edges of my bunny. My son's in there, you see him. And then I'm going to just use a paper towel to do that. You can use any type of clear wax. And then I'm going to use some of this dirt by Belle Dixie, and it goes around the edges and makes it look a little rustic and old and worn and vintage looking. And I'm using a really soft brush, just a little bit, and I'm going around the edges with it, because you could go really light with it or you could go really dark with it. It's up to you. But this is my second time using it, and I'm finally learning how to use it the right way. So I went around the bunny with the whole thing, the whole bunny with it, and I think it turned out really cool. I like it. So I'm just going to keep practicing with it and keep, it's all trial and error when it comes to crafting, when you're trying new techniques. So then I wanted a little bit more of the yellow to come through, so I'm using some of my Distress Oxide and my little sponge tool and putting a little bit more on there, and then I'm going in and just kind of wiping with a wet wipe to kind of smear it in. And look at how cool that looks. Oh my God, I love it so much. But this is the look I'm going for. You guys could skip all that, but I wanted to try a technique for you guys and show you guys, and I think it turned out really cool. So now I'm going to show you how I make my little rag bows. I love making these messy bows, rag bows. You can call it whatever you want. I take strips of fabric from Dollar Tree and also Hobby Lobby, and I just cut it into strips, and I'm going with the colors of whatever project that I'm using. So I'm coming in with some yellow. I also did cream color. I also like dye some of my fabric. I'll like take a tea towel and I will dye it with I'll coffee stain it, with some coffee and water, equal parts, or I'll use tea if I want a lighter look. And then I just keep flipping it back and forth in my bow dabber. This little bow dabber is in my Amazon shop link. It's below in my description box, so you could check it out. It's in there. I use both the larger one and small one. It depends on how big of a bow I'm making. And I just keep going back and forth, flipping the fabric back and forth to look like a bow and making little loops and little tails. Really easy. I love making these bows. And then I also use lace sometimes. This is lace that I got on Temu, I believe. But Dollar Tree has the fabric lace as well. And then I always get lace from Hobby Lobby too. Then I take my twine and I'm going to come down the center and I'm just going to tie it in a really tight knot. And then I'm going to flip it over and tie it again in the back. And then cut my little tails off of my twine, and then I'm just going to fluff up my bow now. I'm just going to fluff up the loops, move them around so it makes it look pretty, bring down my tails, and then trim them to my liking, however long or short I want my tails to be. Really simple bow, you guys, and they come out so cute. Look how cute it is. And then I'm going to use some glue, and I'm going to glue that onto my bunny. Now I'm going to take some of this greenery picks that I had. One of the picks, I believe, I got off of a garland from Hobby Lobby, and then the other ones are just the picks that I had from the Dollar Tree. They're actually probably last year because I have so much greenery. And I just went around my bow and put a little bit of greenery wherever I wanted. I had these little yellow picks from Dollar Tree, so they were perfect to go on this bunny. And you put in whatever greenery you want, whatever greenery you have that matches whatever you're making. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tag and I'm going to rough it up on the edges with my little tool, but you can use scissors to do that as well. I want my tag to look old. And then I just put hop on there with my stamp letters. And then I'm going to go around the edges with this dark wax that you can also find in my Amazon shop. Everything's in my Amazon shop. So you guys can check it out there. But I love using this dark wax. And I'm making my tag look old, so I'm wrinkling it. I get my tags at Hobby Lobby. They're very durable, and I like them. They won't rip or anything when you're roughing them up. So I really like to use those. And then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to glue my tag to the center of my bow. And then I'm going to put my little rustic button. I got my buttons on Amazon. You get like 100 for like all different kinds. And I had a yellow one in there, so it went perfect with my bunny. And that's it, you guys. So there is the first DIY. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think down below. So today is all about Hello Spring, and like I said, these are your hosts and a guest host. There will also be a playlist, so make sure you go check everyone out. Everything is in my description box, all the links. So now DIY number 2. So this DIY, I got a lot here, guys. So I'm going to be using some greenery picks again, and I'm going to be using some of my moss and also some more strips of ribbon to make a bow. I don't show you my bow again, though. Another tag, a button. I'm going to be using some wax and also these tumbler blocks and this plaid from the Dollar Tree, and also this chick is from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use some of my dark wax, and I'm going to use that yellow again by Waverly and some burnt umber. Now, you could skip this part because I ended up liking it better with the white and the yellow, which you'll see in a minute. But the burnt umber I did use for the feet of the chick, and also the little plaque that you see that we're going to stand our chicken on. I went in with the yellow. Oh, it's Maize. It's called Maize. I just remembered, guys. It's Maize by Waverly. And I painted it, and then I went in and dabbed with a sponge from the Dollar Tree, and I just dabbed in certain areas. And I want some of that yellow to show through, so I'm not dabbing it a lot. And then I come back in again with another sponge, and I dab the Maize on again, the yellow, because I wanted more of the yellow. So I just kept doing that until I got it the way I liked it. So here's some different techniques you guys can try out. on your projects. I love using sponges. It just makes everything look so rustic and vintage. And then I got these feathers from, I think it was Joann's. I found these at. It's a little pick from Joann's. And I just used it for the top part of my chicken. It was perfect because it looked like feathers. And then I took a little twine bow and I just, did that on the top there where I glued it down. And then there's my little bow that I made again with my bow dabra. And now I'm going to take a little piece of this lace and wear that little, I did it around its neck so I could cover the hole. And also it made it look a little more decorative. And this is just fabric lace from the Dollar Tree. And then I just wrapped it around and glued it. And then I took my bow and put it on top of that. And I really love the way this turned out. And I just cut the feathers on the top the way I wanted it to look. And I think this turned out so cute. And then I went in with basically the same greenery I used on the rabbit. So I went in with those picks from the Dollar Tree. And I just cut them off. And I believe these picks were from fall, you guys. So never get rid of your picks. You can use them year round for different things. So that's what I used it for. And I really like the way this turned out. And then I'm going to do my tag again. I'm going to, just rough up the edges, make it look old. I crumble it up with my hands and just give it some wrinkles and stuff. And then I'm going to stamp something on that as well. I believe I stamped chirp on that one. So, oh no, hey chick. That's what I did. I did hey chick. And then I went around the edges again with that dark wax and made it look a little more old. And then I'm going to glue it to the center of my bow again. And I'm going to use one of these buttons again. I love these wooden buttons. I got them on Amazon, so they are in my Amazon shop, like I said. And there is my little chick. Isn't he cute? So then I decided to go around the edges. You could skip this part if you want, if you don't like this look, but I like the old look. And so I went around the edges with my antique wax. And a little goes a long way. I used a little stencil brush and I just went around the edges of it. I should have did this first, but I forgot to do it. So I went in and did it after, which is fine. I just lifted up my bow and rubbed it in. Now we're going to put it in this little plaque. These plaques are awesome. It's from the Dollar Tree to actually have stuff stand up in them. And I used my tumble tarring blocks from the Dollar Tree. And all I did was use a little bit of hot glue and super glue, wood glue, and glued them to the bottom to hold it on the bottom. And then I did the same thing on the top, just for extra. You could just do the bottom if you want. I did the top because I knew I was going to cover them with the moss. So now I'm coming in with this Spanish moss at Dollar Tree. And I just took a chunk out, cut it out, and now I'm going to just put a whole lot of glue on it and cover up those blocks and make like a little, like the chicks in the nest, basically. And I did that on the front and the back because I like finished stuff because I sell my stuff. So that's what I did on the front and the back. And then I just went around and trimmed all the excess that was hanging off to make it look a little bit more neat. And then I took some of these flowers again. I believe this pick I got at Hobby Lobby. It could have been Joann's though. I'm not sure. And then I got it last year. And then I just took some yellow picks and I just glued them down. I know you can't see what I'm doing because of the angle, so sorry about that, but that's just how the camera's angled. And then I just glued some greenery down in the front. That's basically what I'm doing. And I used some white picks that I had as well. And there is your chick. I think he turned out super cute. I absolutely love him. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. So now DIY number 3. So this DIY, I'm going to take this wooden cross from the Dollar Tree. I'm also going to take some more strips of ribbon, some of that, it's cheesecloth. This I'm going to use as well. I got this a long time ago. I'm going to use some Sweet Annie. But that scrapbook paper I got a long time ago at, I don't even know, I think it was Michael's. But what I did is I went in with the color and I didn't like it. It was a copper color. I wanted it to look rusty, that cross. I didn't like it. So I went in with this crushed stone. I got this paint from actually from Michael's, and I can't find it now. So any gray paint, really. You could use a Waverly gray paint, and that would be fine too, like elephant gray or the steel gray. And then what I did is I traced out my scrapbook paper. I wanted it to be a little bit shorter than the actual cross. I don't want to cover it. And then I cut it out, roughed up the edges, and put some of the antique dark wax on there. And I went around the edges. I want it to look old and rusty looking, like it's worn on my cross. And then I'm going to glue it on there with my, I did the same thing with both strips. Then I run around the edges of the cross as well with that dark wax, just to make it look a little more old and vintage looking. And I love this look. If you don't, you could skip this part completely. And then once I did all that with the wax, I'm going to come in with the Mod Podge and I'm going to glue down those strips. And it's going to look so cool, you guys. I love the way this cross turned out. And I'm working on a project because I got a laser cutter. And I'm trying to get the right kind of cross. I want it to look old and rustic. And I'm going to do that for you guys on my live. So make sure you come and check me out on Fridays at 7 Eastern. Because I'm going to be doing a project like that on my live. And I also got some angel wings too. You guys are going to want to see that. Really pretty stuff I have that I like to do on my lives. Different things that I do different than I do on here. So then I'm going to go and I'm going to put in the strips, like I said, with the Mod Podge. And the Mod Podge, they stuck down really good because these are really thick scrapbook paper that I'm using. But use any scrapbook paper, you guys. Any scrapbook paper you have. But look how cool that looks. I love it. And then I'm going to take a piece of cloth that I had and I just cut it to size on the tag. And then I put Faith, stamped Faith on there. And now I'm going to, I'm going to make it look old with my vintage photo. I went in there with my Distress Oxide and I dried it real good too with my dryer. And then I'm going to glue it down on the tag. But I'm going to rough up my tag too because you can see the tag even because the strip of fabric is a little bit smaller than the actual tag. And I went around the edges with the dark wax because I want my tag to look old. And I did that all the way around the edges. But you can make your tag look fine. You don't have to do this part either. This is just what I like. And then I went with my glue, my hot glue, and I glued down my little fabric on there. And I took some of the threading off the fabric. You just like pull it with your fingers, really easy. And then I glued down my little bow I made again, my little rag bow in the center. And I glued down my tag to the center of my bow and then one of my little buttons again. And that's it, you guys. I love this one. Might be my favorite, but I like them all. You guys let me know what you think down below. Go check everyone out, you guys. And don't forget to come check out my lives on Facebook. You could come follow me on Facebook, but I'll be doing the lives there and right here on YouTube. Okay, and I want to thank you guys for watching. And as always, remember, stay crafty. Bye.